Imagine. You lived your life, made choices, some right, some wrong. But now, it's over. Your time on earth has ended. There's no going back, no second chances. Every decision you ever made has led you to this very moment, and in an instant, you open your eyes. But this is not earth. The air is thick, suffocating. The stench of burning sulfur fills your lungs. In the distance, you hear screams, agonizing, desperate cries that seem to echo for eternity. The ground beneath you burns, yet you do not die. Darkness surrounds you, but this is no ordinary darkness. It feels alive, as if it's swallowing you whole. And then, the horrifying realization strikes you. You are in hell, and worse. This hell will never end, not for a week, not for 1,000 years, not for 1 billion years, forever. Think about that. Billions of years of torment, and yet you are still only at the beginning. And no, this isn't a temporary punishment. This means pain, darkness, and suffering, not for a time, but for all eternity. But is this justice? Is this the same God who is supposed to be full of love and mercy? The same God who is called a loving Father? Can He truly punish someone who only lived for 70 or 80 years with infinite suffering for all eternity? Does that seem fair? Or have we misunderstood something about hell? The Bible speaks of hell repeatedly, but is it what we think it is? In Matthew's Gospel, Jesus warns of the eternal fire. In Revelation, the lake of fire is described. But at the same time, we also find terms like second death. So the question is hell truly eternal suffering, or is it the final destruction of sinners? In the Old Testament, the word often translated as hell is Sheol, which simply means the grave or the realm of the dead. In the New Testament, different terms are used: Hades, Tartarus, and Gehenna, each with different meanings. But why does this matter? Because for centuries, churches have overwhelmingly emphasized only one interpretation: eternal torment. But some Christian denominations, including Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witnesses, and even certain Protestant theologians, believe that hell is not a place of endless suffering, but rather the complete destruction of sinners. The Apostle Paul wrote, "The wages of sin is death." But he never once spoke of eternal torment. In Revelation, we read that after the final judgment, death and hell themselves are thrown into the lake of fire and cease to exist. So is hell eternal punishment, or is it ultimate annihilation? If hell is truly eternal, does that align with the character of a loving and just God? But if hell is only temporary and sinners are ultimately destroyed, then why have churches preached eternal torment for centuries? Could it be that we've misunderstood God's justice? Could there be a hidden truth in Scripture that changes everything? Imagine if the answer to this question could change your entire perspective on faith. Imagine if what you've been told about hell was only half the truth. So, what do you believe? Is hell truly eternal, or will sinners ultimately be destroyed? Do you believe God will torment people forever, or have we misunderstood His justice? Leave your thoughts in the comments, because this is one of the biggest debates in Christian history. And the answer might just change everything.